playoffs to come first. China versus Serbia, followed by France versus Canada. There's the Serbians there just assembling in their own area, in their own half of the court before they march off to the benches, and we get the player introduction. The Chinese team still shooting around that far end. Here's confirmation of the schedule today. The two semi-finals, 4, 5 through 8. Then the big game, Spain and Turkey, 7 o'clock local time, and Australia versus the USA. With me is famed commentator, taking a rest before the semi-finals start, Jeff Taylor, who's been here in Istanbul the whole 10 days. Jeff, you enjoyed your time here?
Yes, Istanbul, great basketball. And we came here for the basketball. We've seen a lot of different styles, a lot of different teams. China's had good moments and bad moments. Tom Marr saying his team isn't quite as good as Spain, but he also said yet. So obviously they have high expectations in China and great things from Serbia. So this should be a good game today.
It should indeed. You've seen both these two teams playing in group play. You've probably seen more of these two than a lot of the teams that are left here. It is interesting to see how much the Serbians have improved, that is for sure, and they're putting a lot of development work into the men's and women's programs. For China, for Tom Ma, you talked about, I think I had 2 minutes with him in between press conference and changing room, and he's very confident he's trying to get the best out of these girls. He knows full well he's limited for resources in terms of talent in his team, not world-class players, but he's trying to get the best he can out of this bunch. Welcome everyone to the Fenerbahce Arena here in Istanbul. As the Serbian team are into the lineup here onto the floor. They'll be introduced first of all. They lost their quarterfinal against Turkey 62-61 yesterday. They'll be looking to make amends and hopefully get their best possible finish. Head coach there, Malkovic, I'm not sure she's frustrated or not, but it was a tough loss yesterday. 1 point to the home side, Turkey, in front of about 9,000 fans. There's Tom Ma, head coach of China, ex of GB, ex of Australia. The Chinese team onto the floor. They were pretty much wiped off the floor yesterday by Spain. They managed a good second half at 17 points. 9 and 8 in the two first quarters in that quarterfinal. Pretty much put that one to bed after 20 minutes of play. See the coaching staff, last players onto the floor. There is Ma. We will have the national anthems of Serbia first and then of China, and we'll pretty much be close to about 4 minutes before game time.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthem of Serbia. Sevgili basketbol severler, sizi mutlaka sizleri ayağa kalkmaya davet ediyorum. Please remain standing for the national anthem of China. Çin Ulusal Marşı. Thank you, please.
China versus Serbia coming up and ready. First of our semi-final classification games for 5 through 8. The winners will play for 5 and 6 tomorrow. The losers will play for 7 and 8. This is the World Championships. The Serbian team, probably the unluckiest of all 4 losers. We see our 3 referees tonight: Amy Bonner, Karen Lasuk, and Jose Fernandez from USA, Canada, and Costa Rica. Amy Bonner was with me down in Ankara. Jeff, you had the other 2 referees up here in Istanbul. The refereeing stand has been very good this tournament, hasn't it?
I'm not going to comment. I don't think that's my place to criticize or to say anything bad about people. I mean, referees are human. They make mistakes just like everybody else. No, they've done a good job, and it's been a pleasure to watch them in action. But more importantly for Serbia, Mick, they are the one team that played in the quarterfinals that almost got to the semifinals. So they are the ones who probably have the most, shall we say, disappointment to recover from. And really, you know, on the way over here, I was talking to somebody. What happened to Ana Dabovic? You know, she kind of disappeared from the team. And what happened to Butalija? A couple of players who were really important. Rad didn't play. Kato didn't play. But I'm not going to second guess Malkovich, because she's probably forgotten more basketball than I know about. But I have to say, you know, Ana Dabovic was arguably their most important player coming into the tournament. Just because she had a tough start, she was kind of lost in that second quarter, didn't come back in until late in the game. As for China, maybe long term they have more potential than Serbia, but they were not even at the races against Spain. Their coach said it was an embarrassment.
Yeah, which doesn't really, that's typical Tom Ma, isn't it? You wouldn't really get that coming out of a Chinese coach. You see the lineup there, Xiao Ting, the leading scorer for the team. Jeff, I think there's 7 players in this team are born in the 1990s. That makes them 24 and under. And you talked about yesterday the average age of this team being about 24 years of age. So you're right, it is a young team. They will go to FIBA Asia. There's Ma there, who will be in charge of the FIBA Asia tournament next year, which we understand will be held in China. That will qualify for the Olympics.
And just looking at the starting lineup, it's interesting to see Sun Mingran in the starting lineup and not Gao Song. Whether that's because of performance, it's a comment on her performance yesterday, I don't know. But certainly you mentioned Xiao Ting, and she'll certainly be a player to watch next year at the FIBA Asia Championship for women. And Dabovic, you had to watch her play against the USA to realize how good she can be. You know, 22 first half points, and then yesterday the disappointment of not really featuring that much. But like I said, Malkovich knows her personnel, I'm sure, much better than I do. But maybe when she looks back at how that game went, she could say, well, maybe I could have brought Dabovic in here against Turkey and it could have made an impact, or maybe I could have used Rad or Kato. But anyway, they've had a great tournament.
Interesting, Jeff, one of the journalists mentioned yesterday, it wasn't a match so much that Ana Dabovic only scored 2 points. It was the fact that she only took 8 shots, which is way down on some of the averages. She's averaging double figures in terms of shots inside the arc.
But I think we both agreed that she wasn't really playing well yesterday when she came out. So,
well, I mean, I've got an adage, you know, shoot is shoot. And you know, if you're not going to shoot that many, you're not going to score that many. I don't think she ever gave herself a chance to really take it out. If you go back to Nevada Yilmaz on the Turkish team yesterday with 42 shots before she made her first one. She never even thought twice about not shooting the ball.
And that's the point. Even though Yilmaz had an absolute nightmare, and I mean a nightmare, 0 of 14, Yıldızoglu gave her that little bit of extra time on the bench and then put her back in, and eventually the quality of Yilmaz came through. And maybe that might, you know, it could have happened with Dabovic, but we'll never know.
Well, welcome everyone to the FIBA World Championships for women. This is the 5 through 8 semi-final classification game. We are the penultimate day. It will all end tomorrow. The gold medals, bronze and silver, handed out in the glorious style. The final game late in the evening tomorrow, 9 o'clock local time. It is Serbia versus China. The 2 teams lost yesterday, and it's Djokovic versus Huang. And China will get the first bite of the cherry first by Xiao Ting, who straight away hands it over to Chen. And Chen finds a bit of space early on as Milica Dabovic just collapsed at mid-court. Not sure what was going on there.
Dabovic almost inconsolable last night after the loss. She had to pause before coming to the press conference because she was crying. So clearly, you know, that was a tough moment for her in her career.
Butalica turns the ball over, and straight away Xiaoting puts a bit of pressure on this Serbian defense down the other end. Up comes Lu Wen. Xiaoting into Huang. Huang gets her first shot of the game, and straight away, Jeff, a 4-0 start for the Chinese. The Serbia still suffering from that hangover from last night.
I think Xiaoting has potential to play at a higher level somewhere. I mean, not to suggest that China's not a high level, but she wanted to play in Europe or maybe even the WNBA. She's quite creative off the dribble.
Another turnover for Serbia. Lu Wen goes in, and the ball has been stripped or knocked out of her hands. It will stay with China. Interesting, I always worry with Chinese players. It's the physical side that they tend to struggle with, in the men and the women, really. It's that bulk ability. Can you bulk up and deal with the bangs around? Xiaoting, great pass down, and a layup for 13. Son Mengran, who had double figures against Spain yesterday. The only, there's a replay there, Mengran got a nice easy, Mengran a nice easy 2. So Serbia, an offensive foul has been called by the referee, Eamon Mark.
You know, also Xiaoting is not the only person starting tonight. Cheng Fang is not in the starting lineup, so I think effectively she takes her place, and Son Mengran, well, comes in for Gao Song.
I'm sure we'll see these guys later in the game as the game progresses. I know Mara run through the rotations. Chen to 14 Son. There's Huang. Huang settled for a jump. She got 2. She's got 4 now. And Serbia are 8-0 down to start this game off. And you know what? Jeff Malkovich has not even left the bench, has she? Mengran, Son Mengran, Huang there with that jump shot. And Dabovic. 2 sisters here, 7 years in difference in terms of their age. And Dabovic, the younger of the 2. Butalica. Dabovic, Mila Jovanovic. Jovanovic misses, and the rebound. Huang up ahead. Xiaoting will lay up 10-0. There comes the timeout from Malkovich. We've only played 2 minutes and a change. And Serbia yet to get on the board.
And look at Xiaoting, Chiching. She has been scoring points at a premium.
For fun. Well, this is the final competition of the summer, the Women's World Championships here in Istanbul. The whole party has moved to the Asian side of the Bosphorus River. This is the Serbian timeout here, the legendary Marina Malkovic in charge. And down the other end, Tom Ma with interpreter. Jeff Tom Ma's timeouts are usually quite a lot of fun. He gets quite animated, he gets after the girls. He doesn't suffer any fools out there, that's for sure.
Well, the thing about Tomar is, other than the wealth of experience, he has a lot. He's always very direct about what he's going to say.
Yeah, and you need to be. You're a coach, that's it. You're in charge. You need to get things done, and the players need to understand that's the way it gets done.
And if it was an embarrassment, it was an embarrassment.
That's what he said, wasn't it? Right? Serbia 10-0 down. China sink into their man-to-man. They might have showed a bit of zone there. Milica Dabovic comes up from Adjakovic. Milica Dabovic just decides to penetrate. Milica is short, and it's knocked back to Ana Dabovic, who saved it from going out of bounds. Milica. The pick and roll down to Adjakovic, who misses a little easy chip. He gets another opportunity this time. The first 2 for Serbia goes to Tijana Adjakovic.
Butalica pretty active for Serbia.
One. Great pass back door. Xiaoting has 4 now. It's a 12-2 lead for China. Xiaoting's had 2 big games, 23 and a 14. And she does average 10 over the tournament. She's had some rather mediocre performances too. Milica Dabovic goes up in the air. Great pass to her sister. The wraparound layup because the ring is protection. Straight away, China down the other end. Milovanovic with the foul, the number 9 for Serbia. 2-on-1, one inbound pass, Jeff, and straight down the floor.
Yeah, Serbia not really at the game right now to allow that type of transition basket, but seeing what makes Dabovic special. You know, it's interesting as well, Mick, that even though it's tough to come back and play a game after quarterfinal defeat, you will feel a lot better about your tournament if you leave as in 5th place rather than 8th place.
Exactly right. Well, Serbia, both these teams would have lost 2 games, I think. Is that right? Both teams lost to the USA.
China also lost to
Serbia. That's right. China came 3rd, so China would have lost 3 games now.
A close game, 65-63 in fact.
Only 2 victories were against Angola and Belarus. Foul here against Milica Dabovic. And for Serbia, they had their best performance. You saw it, Jeff. There's the reach from behind from Milica Dabovic. One more arm the ball. You saw that game against the USA. That was probably their best performance.
Yeah, they almost at times dictated tempo, and they didn't shy away from the USA.
Their Chen on the penetration. Boots goes right past Milica Dabovic. Doesn't play much defense. This is Ana Dabovic. Down to Holt, and Chen picked her up at midcourt. Dabovic. Milovanovic. Running jump shot. She's got a good 3-point shutter on her, that's for sure. Ana Dabovic to Milovanovic will finish this one. Over the top, and out of the pack come China. Down is Xiao Ting for the layup. Chen the assist. We have a 15-4 lead for China. Well, this was definitely not in the script as Xiao Ting catch and 1-2 step in for a layup. 6 for Xiao Ting.
Well, Milovanovic misses the wide open layup, and then China just go down, nobody within a kilometer of them for the fast break.
Milica Dabovic, Milovanovic in comfort zone. There it is, 3 for the Serbian number 9. Got a lot of joy out of the pick and pop last night. She hit 3 threes, 3 of 6 she was. Of course, Jovanovic, who comes off the bench, she hit 4 of 4. Number 8 for Serbia. It's not seen her yet. This Huang, Xiao Ting pops out, but it's gone down to Sun Men Grant. Xiao Ting low post goes to work. To Huang, goes a little long on that one. The rebound from China. And all the way back to Chen, who will start it off again. Good work there from Xiao Ting. The show there from Ajatovic. Well, Sun Men Grant's going to launch one from downtown. And it's Serbia will get a chance to break here. Maybe a 3-on-2. Looks like it's going to be a 3-on-3. Milica Dabovic catch and shoot. Back-to-back trays for Serbia. All of a sudden, it's a 5-point gap. The Serbians have woken up. And that's their ability to get out in the break and run. Ana Dabovic has just taken a big hit. She's just not recovered very well. And down the other end, Sun Men Grant. Jeff, you said she could shoot yesterday, and she's just launched back-to-back trays. That one went in.
Yep, Sun is obviously, if you're a low post player that can pop outside, that gives you a lot more options on offense. Pulls your defender away from the lane.
Milica Dabovic goes in, that same backdoor play didn't work. This will go down. Butilia. 2.
Butilia again with a. She's a tough customer, Butilia.
Just picked that ball up on the ground, Butilia.
She's really more of a defensive player, kind of a hard woman, so to speak. Not a hard man, but a hard woman. Gets after you.
Well, she scored 15 in the first game against Angola. I guess you could probably say, well, it was Angola. You'd probably say they were the worst team in the tournament, Jeff.
From what I could tell, yes.
You wouldn't want to have a competition with the worst.
No disrespect intended. But a lot of potential down there without question. It's just how do you get them up to the level.
Sun Men Grant found Xiao Ting, almost scored another 2 there. Into the game is the young Yang, 19 years of age. Ana Dabovic gets her first 2 of the game, and that may settle the young Serbian down. It's 4 now, sorry, it doubles her score. She'll need a big game just to get her own confidence back, I think. Huang, Xiao Ting is just feeling it. Well, that pass wasn't really the best ever. Xiaoting underneath again, goes up, all in the trees. Sun Mengran scores 2 more. And she is the leading scorer for China with 7. That's a bit of a shootout here. Butilia, Dabovic, Milica Dabovic, pulling them apart with their blonde and dark hair. Milica to Anna. Anna looks at the shot clock at 10, puts the ball on the floor, fades. Anna Dabovic, nice little move there. Butilia will finish for 2 more.
Yeah, Butilia has really come to life here late in the first quarter.
We've got 3:10 left in this first period. A very high scoring. Xiaoting steps back. And the lead is, that's a 2, I think. It's a 5-point lead. We've got 39 points on the board. And we still got 3 minutes to play. We might have 50 in the quarter here.
Xiaoting is really their go-to player. I mean, she looks for the shot. She's not afraid.
Milovanovic steps back. And second 3 for Milovanovic. Well, it is just raining points here. 2 teams who struggled to get the numbers on the board last night, especially China. Well, China have scored more in 8 minutes than they did in 20 yesterday. Here's Yang, the youngster from China.
Explosive 19-year-old point guard, maybe the biggest prospect in this whole team.
Great pass to Sun Mengran, who spins, and Milovanovic has just got a piece of the action. It will stay with China. All wholesale subs in the game for China. 3 to come in. There's Sun Mengran on the block. So Feng, Song, 15, Zhong in the game. And it will be Cheng Feng getting down. There's a bit of afters here. We'll have to see that in the game against China. It's usually all...
and also a classification game.
It's all loves and kisses usually in games. They're very friendly affairs whenever China play. They're very disciplined players. I mean, that's the basis of it. Zhong puts the ball on the floor. Zhong drops it in. First touch of the game. Now Milica Dabovic goes downtown. Butilia wraps it around. But doesn't quite get that in.
I was going to say, Butilia, things have been going so well for her. That thing almost fell through the hoop.
Milica Dabovic will find hopefully Butilia. Over there to Milovanovic. Milovanovic spins, throws it right over the top. Back-to-back disasters for Serbia. The foul is not Butilia. It's going to go against Adjakovic.
Now, Tamar wanted an unsportsmanlike foul on that because it was quite evident she was going to foul her and stop play.
Impeded.
And look at, you can see him in the right of your screen. Now, Tamar won't just complain for the sake of it, so I'd probably give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, well, it was 2 hands to start with the contact, and then it went to 1. Maybe the benefit of the doubt went with the offense on the defense on that. Xiaoting steps back. She's feeling it. Well, she might as well. The 3 will count. There will be a foul and sideline ball for China. Jeff, you don't see this very often.
One word springs to mind: revelation. She was nowhere on the international basketball map before this summer, from my recollection. She's really come out and made a name for herself.
Are you going to be around to shouting the name of Xiaoting around the world?
I will.
It would be a bonus. I don't think the foul was on Xiaoting, Jeff. I thought it was a push.
Well, so she was fouled by Dabovic, and she does not convert the 5-point.
I think we got the wrong shooter, Jeff. I thought the foul was in the back of the screener, Zhong. But Xiaoting did shoot the second free throw. It's an 8-point lead now for China. Nobody's complaining, so
I think you're right, actually.
Anna Dabovic fades for a in the corner, misses, and way ahead of the pack is Xiaoting, where she's going to have numbers by the end of this first period. 14 now out of China's 30.
Mick, tell us the rule on getting back, because we've seen already 3 times, maybe 4, Serbia just giving away fast breaks.
That's a good point. I mean, that's a great point. But we've got Radicaj in the game for Serbia. Well, the rule number 1 is the point guard must get back, because their rebounding responsibility offensively doesn't really apply unless the point guard is shooting deep in the lane, in which case the 2 guard must get back, and the 3 forward as well. It has to be offensive rebounding responsibilities. Otherwise, you do get that defensive rebound and the over the top pass, over the top pass.
So you're either going to have, so really Radicaj was probably at fault, or Dabovic.
Well, Davic shot the ball, so she was in the corner. We've got a foul against Serbia. Nothing going Serbia's way here. Foul is against Radicaj on the baseline. Serbia's in the bonus. It'll be 2 shots here for 11, Cheng Fang.
And much like Tom Marr, he doesn't complain unless it merits it. I would say the same about Malkovich. She rarely speaks to the referees. And in the classification game, you would think that she might just let something go. So, clearly something bothering both coaches.
Classification is a cup of coffee next to your bench, isn't it? Next to the seat there.
Thank you very much. I will have one. Cheng Fang was instrumental, by the way, in their come-from-behind win with her defense against Belarus.
And, I'm sure these Chinese kids, their number one for Mara is play defense. Milovanovic here. There's Anna Dabovic. Anna Dabovic has 4 for the game so far. Surprised to see her take a shot before the end of this period. All the way over to Radicaj. The shot clock's down to 5 now. Radicaj puts the ball on the floor. Good defense here from the young Yang. Kunic goes up. And I think the foul will go against Zhang Liting. 15 for China. It does indeed. Jeff, you're in a very relaxed, jovial mood this morning. A good breakfast. You had a good swim, I understand that. I was in the gym early.
It helps me to relax the mind before I do the first game of the day. I like to think about who are the key players and what's at stake. And it did dawn on me that with Serbia and China, you know, they wouldn't have come here expecting to win the world title. So clearly, you've got to be able to put the disappointment behind you and come out and play.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. Now, two European teams in the semis later on, USA and Australia. It will be a different zone final. Pressure here from Serbia down the floor. Yang is so quick, and she might wrap around 2, all the way back to Xiao Ting.
Yeah, Yang is a talent.
Yeah, you're right there. Yang, 8 seconds on the game, quarter clock here. Yang throws it up, and it's an unfortunate way they finish the quarter. They've got 32 on the board already. Milovanovic to finish off. End of 10 minutes. Probably the highest scoring quarter of the whole tournament. 54 points in total. 32 China and 22 Serbia.
Ladies and gentlemen, big number on stage with your big
Three-point shooting for Serbia has kind of helped them stay within striking distance, really. And, you know, defensively, I think they leave a lot to be desired. You know, you can't give up 32 points in a quarter. I mean, that's not very Serbia-like. And it remains to be seen if they're going to pick themselves up.
Well, contrast to yesterday, 60 points I think Serbia scored against Turkey in 40 minutes. This point yesterday, I think China had 8 on the board, 17 at the half-time break, so they're almost doubled their score from their yesterday. See some highlights here.
It's been a good summer overall for Serbian basketball. The men, just looking at senior level, the men getting all the way to the final of the FIBA Basketball World Cup, and the women, you know, coming out of a relatively tough group and winning a qualifying game for the quarterfinals and getting here. They beat a good Cuba team, a pretty good, you know, they were competitive Cuba, the FIBA Americans champions from last year.
Yeah, if you look at this, the Americas, America will play Australia, so the Oceania's a strong group, 2 European teams. Africa not represented in semi-finals or in the final 8. Asia just 1 representative in the quarterfinals. The African teams need to do more, you think, Jeff, to get back on track. The Asian teams need to do a little more to catch up. China probably the strongest of the 3 teams here.
It's also interesting.
Well, second period set to start here. 10-point lead for China. It's the 5-8 classification game. The last day but 1, the Women's World Championship. Zone here for China to start this period. They lead by 10, 32-22. Penetration from Butilia.
Rad's come into the game after not playing yesterday, so she'll have some fresh legs. And Jovanovic, who arguably, well, other than Milica Dabovic, was the best player for Serbia, number 8.
Lu Wen in the game for China, or Xiao Ting is being given the honors to start the second quarter. Good rebound there from Krunic, just got amongst the two white shirts around her. Here's Radachai. Penetration there from Rad in the game for the first one. Didn't see her play yesterday.
Yeah, and I was surprised. I was surprised that Malkovich didn't go to some of her players yesterday.
Krunic wraparound 2 for Serbia. The Chinese defense just melted in front of her. And an easy 2 for the number 7 from Serbia.
We didn't see Kato, we didn't see Rad. Kato really was a solid player, I thought. Rad.
Almost gone with the rotation. She was sticking with it. In the corner over there is Chen for the 3. It might drop in. We've seen that in these rims before. Rad brings the defense forward and will go up and look to score. It's off the backboard a little too hard. Butilia.
Butaliha in the corner.
He got me all racked up on that now. Jovanovic squares up 3. She was 4 of 4 yesterday. All I need is Butilia to stay in the game the whole game, and I can get my head around it. Penetration here from Chen Xiaojai. She was fouled. The referees will bring it on the sideline. Let's hope it's Butilia's foul. If it's not, it's going against Krunic. Butilia will step out here, Jeff, number 10 for Serbia.
And that's much to the relief of you. Butilia has been a solid player today and throughout this tournament.
I'll tell you what, halftime, I'm just going to get to one corner. It's like Ogumake of USA is another one. Difficult.
Ogumake, yes.
Ogumake, that's the one. So that shot was blocked there from Lu Wen. We'll stay with China on that baseline. Lu Wen will inbound. He's got that bandage on her left hand. I don't know whether is that caused in this tournament, Jeff. Oh, great interception there from Jovanovic. The foul will go against Chen. Lu Wen's got that bandage on her arm, Jeff. Can you concentrate, please?
She's had her left hand kind of
through the game, through the tournament.
Yeah.
Injury.
And she ended up having a huge game. I'm trying to remember who it was against now.
I can tell you that in a minute. We'll get back to that. 20 points against Serbia. It was against Serbia.
So yeah, she would have been the MVP of that game. Now Kato, number 6, didn't play yesterday. Rad, who has the ball, didn't play yesterday.
We've got 2 guys who didn't get any court time. Yes, poor pass there from Rad. Going to the baseline to Krunic, turned over there by Serbia. They still trail by 8. China have not made any inroads into that scoreboard since the second quarter started. Chen's got a bit of pressure here to get the ball inbounded. And Radachai will dog her all the way down the floor as well. Radachai backs off slightly on Chen. Lu Wen. And draws the foul out of Kato. Kato's got the 2 bandages around her knee, Jeff. Do you think that could be any part of the fact that she didn't play yesterday? Or just in the rotation?
I just think it was a coaching decision. You just see the replay there of Lu Wen. I mean, Lu Wen's a terrific talent. I mean, you're going to have injuries that you have to cope with. You know that as a former player.
Xiao Ting spins, great pass, Chen, corner, wide open is Sun Mengran. Only made 1 3, and it is Gao Song. Puts the ball right back at the point guard.
You have to be able to play with injuries.
Exactly right.
But you need to be smart as well.
Gao Song goes in, just managed to get above the hands of Rad there. And the pack comes Jovanovic. Turns the corner to Radachai, back to Jovanovic, looked at the 3, Rad brings the defense forward, Rad gets into a bit of trouble. Wasn't a great pass to Kato, and the foul against Xiao Ting. I think Tom Ma might be thinking Xiao Ting's time on the floor might be up. She's played 13 minutes. He's the leading scorer for China with 14. He's just trying to see if she can get maybe another 2 or 4 points out of her, I'm sure, Mark.
Well, we haven't seen Sanja Mandic come in. She played for Serbia's under-20 team this summer that made it to the semifinals of the under-20 European Championship. And that's the other thing, you know, Serbia.
She's had a very busy summer, though, hasn't she?
Who's going to be stepping up and challenging for places in this team next year, and who might be vulnerable in missing their place?
Ball was in Serbia's hands again. It was knocked out of bounds fairly quickly by the Chinese defense. Here's Kado back to Radachai here. Radachai. Rad penetrates. All of a sudden, Jovanovic finds a long two come her way. She's missed it. And a great game yesterday from shooting range. Not find her mark just yet. The score is still 32-24. Jovanovic turns the corner, finds a little seam through that Chinese defense, and came up short. Xiaoting, open floor. She's had a great game today, Xiaoting. Drops it down into Sun Mengran. Mengran goes up, not quite. Getting the rub of the green there. Radachai breaks against three defenders from China. Looks for help coming down the floor. Kado penetrates. Krunic, Jovanovic wide open. This might be in a range. Another one goes missing. And Lu Wen fumbles it out of bounds. Huang comes in, as does Yang. Chen and Sun Mengran will sit down. I love this about Ma. He's got words of advice for everybody coming off the floor. Chipping away his players the whole time. Kado fades, Kado drops. And Sasa Kado scores her first points of the game, and all of a sudden it is a 5-point game. She can play. Xiaoting spins, and all of a sudden it's dried up for Xiaoting. Radachai out of the pack. Radachai goes deep, corner. Jovanovic doesn't want to test the jump shot one more time. Radachai loses it, and China will get off to the races. Xiaoting here. Goes in, 16 for Xiaoting. Tom Ma now looks down the bench for a replacement perhaps for Xiaoting.
I think I'd be tempted to leave her out there, just see how long she can go.
Yeah, I'd be the same. Now you've left her out to score two. Kado draws iron, and Jovanovic hits the deck hard. She gets up quickly. Here's Yang. Down low to Huang. Gao Sung scores with ease, and all of a sudden the Chinese machine is on a roll again. Serbia just struggling to find a bit of inspiration with this second string on the floor. Yang picks up the foul, and Radachai will get two shots. And Xiaoting looks a little exhausted. Yan comes in. There's the foul against Yang, just in the back of Radachai. Dabovic comes in, as does
Djokovic.
Yeah, Djokovic 11.
I mean, she has a lot of potential, Djokovic, but they need her from a size standpoint.
Doesn't get many rebounds, though, does she? I think big for the high for the tournament's only about 5.
She really held her own against the United States, which for me is kind of a litmus test.
Absolutely. 10 points, 5 rebounds against the US. Shooting 50% that game. Radachai hits both free throws, draws that gap to 7. So the free throw of the free-falling points production from both teams continues. With 65 scored. Great look there, and a layup for 12, Gao Song. It's very easy right now for China. Their challenge will be sustainability in the second half. Foul there against 10. Lu Wen. Referee ambles over. White 10, says the referee.
I would have guessed that China would have been more up for this game. Looking at the replay there of Lu Wen and Dabovic, just seeing how disappointed Tom Ma was in the effort yesterday. I'm sure he challenged his team to come out and play better today.
You might be right. Ana Davic goes in deep. Adjukovic comes all the way out. Settles for Jay. It was definitely close. There's a foul, I think it's against one of the Chinese players. It's against, it's against Kado, I think, of Serbia. It's one of those fouls, Jeff, where nobody knows what the call is. It was very confusing for the players. This will be a rebounding foul this year. There might be 2 shots here. I don't think Serbia are in the bonus yet, so it shouldn't be 2 shots.
Well, it says...
That's end-line ball for China.
I don't know what Dabovic is complaining about. Yes, so Serbia, they've got some good young players coming up. Just looking through potential candidates.
Sorry, Jeff, a poor error from China on that baseline as Yi went to Yang. Ana Dabovic to inbound here. They trail by 9, Serbia. They'll be looking to get some back into this game before half-time. They won't want to be down double digits, that's for sure. Dabovic goes over, Kunic's screen. Dabovic looks up, Radicaj comes into this knee side. Adjikovic well met there by Gao Song. Radicaj keeps the dribble alive. Kado, already made one big shot, Kado. He's gonna have to take another one in a minute. Dabovic draws the defense forward. Beautiful play from Dabovic. They should count the bucket, Jeff.
We'll see if they do count. Wait for the referee.
Neither of the other 2 referees are making any motions here. Kado's got the foul. Tell me why that didn't count. I don't know. The Serbian crowd, which must number 20.
I think she committed the foul before Dabovic left her feet for the shot. So
that would be, but neither referee consulted. Therefore, if they don't consult, they don't come up with a consensus. They're just going on, I don't know what they're going on. There's Yang. Sprinting across this far side of the floor is Cheng. Cheng dribbles in. Now to Huang, back to Yang again. Huang should be wide open. She is. There's the wraparound here. Cheng, Feng. And we'll get her own rebound. She should bring it out. Attacks the hoop. Yang. Yang will good composure from this young 19-year-old. Just grabs it out, a couple of dribbles, then goes pick and roll. Good offense here for Cheng. Gao Song for long 3, I think it was. It was short, and Radicaj the rebound. Ana Dabovic puts pressure right on the defense. A couple of bumps in there. The Serbian crowds don't like it. They're up in their arms, up in those stands up there. Dabovic looking down at Kunic. Adjikovic puts the ball on the floor. Adjikovic spins. Nice move from Adjikovic. There is a foul. Will go against 14 of China, Huang Hongpin. Just get some confirmation from the referee. 14. She didn't do too much wrong either. Stayed with Adjikovic all the way. Maybe a bit of contact.
So, certainly on the Serbian bench, getting somewhat agitated with how this game is flowing.
Adjikovic's high for the tournament was 10 against the US. As we said before, 10-5 she had. Her only double-digit performance of the tournament so far. And I guess consistency will be the key for her game moving forward.
I think she has a lot more upside, though, than probably Krnjic.
Cheng misses a 3. Adjikovic gets almost close to a rebound. Kunic gets it by default. He's up in a lap. And Radicaj draws the foul out of Cheng. Cheng's having a hard time out there, Jeff. Looks like she wants to be actively involved. Now 3 down the other end, and the penetration before that picks up the foul there. Just couldn't quite keep with the Serbian guard, number 4. I like Radicaj. Maybe a little undersized at that position. She's got a lot about her that...
No. You can see that Tamar is using this as an instructional opportunity.
Every time a sub comes off the bench, he's got something to say for them with the interpreter.
I tell you, that interpreter earns his money, doesn't he? He interprets here, he goes to the press conference, he speaks to the media.
I just wonder if it's the same one that Bob Dunwald had with the senior men's team.
I think he is.
Huang rebounds. He's very used to the talkers. Of course, he didn't have a talking coach. He wouldn't need him. Offensive foul down this end from China. A little suspicion that Serbia might get back into this game. The foul's against Xiao Ting, who's been inserted back in at 16 points, her high for the game. No sign of Boutelia yet, Jeff.
No, Boutelia might not come back for the second half. As well as China's played, though, and been on top. You can see Serbia coming back here. Last couple minutes of the first half.
Kado back to Radicaj. Kunic goes away. Radicaj now one-on-one here with Gao Song. Radachai goes in and scores. The little diminutive point guard for Serbia draws them within 6, and all of a sudden momentum is heading to the Serbs. Yang in a bit of trouble. Gao Song in the corner there. A long three from Lu Wen. Airballed it, and it's Milovanovic. The tall Serbian, I wouldn't call her a center, more a shooting four.
Stretch four.
Stretch four, I love that. Milovanovic, Dabovic, the Anna, spins into the middle. Anna Davic goes up. Kado corner. Oh, that would have, Anna Davic, what a rebound. Can she score from there? She'll drag it back out. Turns to the referee. She's still having a chip with the referee. Krunic goes up, drops it in, and we have a 4-point game. And Tom Maher goes wandering down that bench to find the sub, and he's found one in the form of Sun Mengran. Yang will hold here. Minute 30 left. China have had a miserable second period. 6 points in total after a 32-point first period. Xiaoting, long two, drops it, 18 for Xiaoting.
Stops the bleeding a little bit for China.
It does indeed. 18 first half points. Not sure. 22 for Anna Davic, probably the tournament high in the first half. Here is Anna Davic. Settles for jump shot. Can't quite get the friendly roll. It both sides of the rim, front and back. China under a minute to play this first half. Yang.
But Butaliha is going to come back into the game at the next stop.
Jeff. Yang. Lob pass in low to Gao Song, way over the top. It's the sort of pass you want a bullet pass in rather than a loopy one. Yang will sit down, Chen in. Sun Mengran came in as expected for one. Chance now for Serbia to eat into the lead once again. 40-34 they trail. It's almost unfathomable how a team can score 32 in one quarter and have 8 in the second. Wow, Radachai just drills a little 15-footer, well worked off the dribble. Timeout for Tom Maher of China, 40-36. China's biggest lead, I think, was 10 in the game. It has now been whittled away to just a 4-point lead.
There will be some choice words. Look. So second quarter shooting, just 2 of 11. I mean, really, Serbia not that much better. 4 of 11 from 3-point range inside the arc. Well, that was for the first half. I'd like to see that graphic again, in fact, folks. 14 assists for China, 5 turnovers, 7 assists, 7 turnovers for Serbia.
Well, both teams doing a great job of looking after the ball. You know, Jeff, we see a lot of basketball around the world, and the entertainment at halftime and your timeouts is so different this tournament. It's almost like a circus event, isn't it? You can't see them very well. In fact, you're not going to see them at all, but I promise you it's different.
There's Yang, who was on the receiving end of a tongue lashing when she got yanked out of the game after her, as you so pointed out, her errant pass that should have been more direct as opposed to loopy or a lob.
Interesting yesterday, I think Tom Maher in one of the timeouts was saying it's never a chest pass over extended arms. And you know, you go back to fundamental basketball. Yeah. That is a fundamental. I mean, even in high school you were taught that.
That's something you shouldn't even have to be taught.
No, it's just the law of common sense, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, last 25 seconds of this first half here. China lead by 6. A high-scoring first half, 40-36. Serbia inching their way back into the game. Lu Wen just trying to find some space, but Milovanovic is playing some great defense. Gao Song will find a penetration. Well, wide open is Huang.
No, Sun Mengran.
Sun Mengran, excuse me, Jeff. You're right there. 3 to finish the quarter. Well, China will finish in front. They've led for most of the game. I think they got off to a 10-0 start. It is a 7-point lead at the break, 43-36. Tom Maher's team put together 2 periods there, far greater than what they did in the whole game yesterday. And the stats there, Jeff. Pretty good reading for Chinese fans.
Well, that last 3-pointer helps, they're 3 of 12 from three-point range, but shooting the ball much better inside. Of course, they had a lot of layups as well that we saw, and Serbia, on the other hand, doing a decent job of matching them on the boards. And Serbia, the team with 3 blocks. But I think with Xiaoting with the 18 points, probably the performance of the half. And China is as disappointing as their finish was there in the second quarter, or as disappointing as their performance was, that late three-pointer just got a little bit of momentum back for them going to the locker room.
Absolutely. Well, we enjoyed the first half. We got more to come. We got a whole day of action with the 2 semifinals coming up later on tonight, 7 o'clock and 9 o'clock local time. Join us in about 10 minutes for the second half of this one. China 43, Serbia 36 at the break.
Number 12, number 6, basketball court, the fastest is the winner. Everyone wants to play he wants that. In here for tonight, the great acceleration technology. Pretty great control the court with speed. Now, pick up the ball, and quickly tonight, speed is all the court.
Well, welcome back, everyone. Welcome back, everyone, to Istanbul, the Fenerbahce Arena.
Thank you.
Half-time here. We haven't got a packed crowd just yet, Jeff. It'll definitely warm up as the semi-final nears its start point. There's about 9,000 fans will gather into this arena. And this is a beautiful arena here in Fenerbahce on the Asian side of the Bosphorus. You were in the European side last week, the Abdi Apechi Arena. That's just as nice.
And
you weren't impressed with the Abdi Apechi, were you?
I'm impressed by its tradition and everything else. And I mean, obviously, you come here, it's a much more modern arena. But the Bosphorus is the strait that connects the Black Sea and the Sea of Samara. Is that right? You're the history, geopolitical.
What about geography? I'm just gonna go.
You're gonna go quiet.
The water. That's right. Yeah. Before I get too technical and lose myself. Well, we do know for sure that China are at halftime here with Serbia. 7-point lead for China. This is a 5-8 classification game. I always got a great quote, Jeff, when I was at camp in America. About 18, 19, and the coach, we'd lost the semi-final, and the coach gets out there before the third and fourth game, and he said, this game's like kissing your sister. It's like, you know you've got to do it, but nobody wants to do it. You know, it's one of those things. But 5-8 classification, same thing maybe. You're playing for a little bit of prize. Another game for these guys, isn't it?
I mean, clearly the wind is out of your sails after you get knocked out of the quarterfinals, and that's a huge challenge to be able to come back. Even when you lose a semifinal, it can be difficult to come back and play in a bronze medal game. And that's what separates probably the great teams. They have that capacity.
I guess one of the worst situations, you lose a semifinal and the next day you lose the bronze medal. So you go home with nothing, do you? I mean, it's just back-to-back losses to finish a tournament.
Well, Serbia's women experienced this last year at the Eurobasket Women. They got to the semifinals and they were just run out of the gym by Spain in France, and then they came back and they lost to Turkey, the bronze medal game.
Yeah, you talked about that last night, didn't you, about the revenge factor that Serbia might have coming in a year later. Couldn't quite overturn in some ways. I mean, this crowd that gathers here when Turkey play, you got to think it's worth about 10 points, haven't you? I mean, 36-26, I think the Serbians led yesterday, and that lead was erased very quickly.
To be honest, I think that doesn't hurt the opposition because these players want to play in front of the big crowds. And Milica Dabovic, one of her comments after the game was, obviously, it's a huge disappointment, but this has been the greatest moment of my career to be able to play in front of this amount of people. So, obviously, mixed emotions.
Yeah, absolutely.
For the Serbians.
And what a great game it was last night. I mean, it was no doubt that Turkey-Spain this afternoon is not going to be. It won't be easy for the Turks for sure. They're playing one of the best in the world, but that crowd will carry them all the way. Anyway, second half action set to start here. China versus Serbia. Straight away, Xiaoting scores 2. She's got 2-0 now, Jeff. 20 points. And really is on fire. Had a great first quarter. I think she had 14 then. Moving screen from Milovanovic, number 9 for Serbia. So 2 points in the book for China and a foul in the book for Serbia. Not a great start for the Serbians. Not quite as bad as you can see. Who'd be a coach, eh?
Well, that's an art to setting the picks. Something they call quite frequently, isn't it? The moving screen.
The referee's always looking for things like that. Traveling, moving screens. They want to Because if you don't call, was it? Chance there, that could have been a foul too as Krunic went down into the low post. Penetration from Chen. Huang throws up a shot. It wasn't really going to go anywhere. No, well, Xiao Ting, almost got 22 there. She's got a knee. That was probably as easy as you might have seen all night.
Yeah, I guess we're sort of on the Xiao Ting watch right now.
Sun Mengran back to Huang to Chen. Chen draws Radachai forward and Chen scores. Well, China started the first half in a hurry with about 8 or 10 in a row. And it's looking like it might be the same business as usual here in the second half. Milovanovic struggling to find control in that dribble there. Just draws. He's going to draw both the teammates over a screen. Anadavic to Radachai in the corner, steps on the sideline. It's all a bit too tight over there.
China have come out sharper here at the start of the second half.
They have indeed. That 2 from Chen confirmed China's status here in front and looking pretty good for their money. 11 points their lead. I think it might be the biggest lead of the game. Sun Mengran penetrates and Milovanovic fouls. I'm not sure she needed to. Sun Mengran was heading way off to the side of the basket. That would have been a tough shot to make.
That's number 3.
3 for Milovanovic. It is indeed. So, Malkovich has to make some decisions.
Sun's averaging 6.8 points per game. She's got 10 today.
Well, I'll tell you what, Tom Ma gets into the 5th and 6th playoff in this tournament. He will be, the federation will be over the moon with that performance. Sun Mengran hits the second. And she...
Well, it's a young team, China, and you know, expectations I think on the outside weren't really soaring when they came in. You know, the team to finish 3rd at the FIBA Asia Championship for women has advanced further than any other team from Asia.
Milica Davidovic unleashes a 3 in the hope that that might just ignite Serbia's fortunes. Just look at this height of the Chinese. They really are significantly taller than Serbians at every position. Backdoor, Xiao Ting goes up and scores another 2. Wow, my word, she's got 22 now. We're looking for the record books for the tournament to see the high score of the tournament. I think it's 27 by Patty Teixeira. Foul there. This is going to go against Milovanovic again. That is number 4. I think it's Patty Teixeira, Jeff, in Brazil's game. Can't remember who it's against now.
Oh, so Teixeira had the...
Yeah, 27. I think she will, one of us will get there in a minute. With the
Are you talking about for the
tournament high?
Wow, I would have thought it was higher than that.
Not quite sure. I think there's somebody in your group had 25. The jump shot there misses by Huang, and a reaching foul from Ten Lu Wen.
I mean, if I'm being honest, I don't like those stats, and I'll tell you why. Because you've got some USA players, for example, that might play half the game.
Absolutely true. Absolutely true.
And you get a lot of some players will get a lot of garbage points when the game is over.
Well, it is. Patty Teixeira had 27 against Japan, and then 24 by Sancho Little and Anna Dabovic, the leading numbers per game. But you're absolutely right. You know, you take USA players, and Milica Dabovic fires up a 3 and misses. Good rebound from Adjakovic, doing some work on the back of that zone. Anna Dabovic goes in and scores. 2 for Anna Dabovic. That takes her points total to 6. She'll get a free throw to come as well. We've got a foul against 13. Sun Mengran. Nice little move there from Anna Dabovic. She scores inside and outside, Jeff. She can shoot, and she loves to drive.
Yeah, she's very clever how she handles the ball, and maybe a little underrated defensively. And I'm still not convinced that she's 100% following her knee problems.
She had Dynamo Moscow last year, is that right?
I have to double check that one.
I think her and her sister both played a lot of time in Russia. For Milica especially. Sun Mengran tries to throw it down. And if we go back to fundamentals, that should have been an overhead pass, flip right down to the partner in crime, Hong Pin. Radachai to start it off for Serbia, who've last got themselves back on track again this Second half, Milica Davic into the lane, throws it up left-handed, and Satriz. Well, Ana Davic's sister got it, hit the front of the rim. Triple team on the baseline. There's a foul called. And it's Amy Bonner, the American referee, with that call. Marina Malkovich. It's against Ana Davic. Second foul for her.
Yeah, she was indeed with Dynamo Moscow last year.
I've got a feeling her sister was with Kursk, but I'm not quite sure. You're not. Sorry, Jeff.
And what are you going to do with this information?
I don't know.
No, she was playing in France. I do remember that. She was with Lyon.
Somebody's got to Kursk. Kursk is putting a good team together next year, Jeff. I mean, there's some money going out.
Well, that's where she was last year.
Yeah. Okay. 2 shots down here for Lu Wen. Lu Wen with that left wrist bandaged. Had a decent tournament, averaging 6.2 points a game. 10 of 14 on the tournament from the free throw line, so fairly good shooter as she misses, but rebounded there from Sun Mengran. Back to Chen. Chen looked at Xiaoting's cut, went away from it. Looks like a zone here from Serbia, matchup zone. Down low, and the finish from Lu Wen. No, it's in and out. A little too hard on these rims. Radicai, good discipline there from Radicai. Ana Dabovic in. Dabovic goes up lefty. There's a foul against Huang. And Huang Hongpin will pick up her second foul of the game. 14 for China. There's the contact, arm, body. Ana Dabovic, 17 of 20 from the free throw line coming into this game. She's that's 85%. She is now just warming herself up. She's the leading scorer for the Serbians. Nobody in double figures. They're all about the 6, 7, 8 mark.
Well, at least in the Euro Cup women last year for Dynamo Moscow, she averaged 14.2 points per game, and it should be noted she shot 43.9% from three-point range.
How far did they go in? Did they get to the final of that competition? I thought they won that competition, the Women's Euro Cup last year. Dabovic hits the second free throw after being given a rerun. And Jovanovic, sorry about this, Jeff. Jovanovic comes in as a replacement. Chen breaks away from Radicai.
Yeah, they did indeed beat Dynamo Kursk.
Yeah, that's what all Russian
two
final.
legs.
Yeah. And I got a feeling that Kursk might have won the year before. The Russians seemed to dominate the Euro Cup. Xiaoting pressured by Milica Davic. Xiaoting can't quite get the same success as the first half.
In fact, Dynamo Moscow won it back-to-back.
They did they?
But in 2012, Kursk did win.
I think Moscow beat Kayseri 2 years ago. I remember covering that game. Yeah,
they did
from Turkey. And
Kayseri finished runners-up twice in a row, 2012 and 2013.
And I've got a feeling Kayseri in the home leg broke some sort of record for a women's basketball game. It was enormous.
Attendance-wise.
Yeah,
yes,
that's exactly right. Foul here from Xiaoting, 7. Sideline ball for Serbia. They trail by 8. They're hanging around this 8-point mark, just staying in contention. Just steadying themselves for the final assault in this game. 15 minutes left in this game, 5:44 left in the third. Substitutions in for China. There's Jovanovic and Djokovic.
So basically the second leg that you're talking about here in Turkey in the Euro Cup women back in March 14th, 2013, there was a sellout crowd of 11,000 to turn out to watch Kayseri play.
That would be the biggest attendance for a European club game, is that right? I would imagine that must be.
Yes, for European women's basketball game.
The foul here against China's number 7, Xiaoting. Over on that far side, Cheng Feng has taken a hard hit.
Kayseri was a venue for the FIBA World Championship back in 2010.
That's right, yeah. And in fact, the foul's the other way, Jeff. It's against Krunic of Serbia. So it'll be 2 shots here for Cheng Feng. I've got a great admiration for the way that women's basketball is supported in Turkey. You know, even Galatasaray, Fenerbahce women's, when they're playing the right teams, they can draw huge crowds.
Now, Marina Malkovic, the Serbia coach, is coming over for some clarification from the commissioner.
Just not sure. Maybe it's just not sure.
See her walking away on the right of the screen there.
Cheng Feng scored all her points from the free throw line. She was the one that got hit by Krunic. Second free throw goes in. 4 of 4 for her on the night. Radicaj looks ahead to Milica Dabovic. Skip pass here to Jovanovic. To Krunic, slow post. Krunic should spin to the middle. Just over pasted that one. Chen being chased by Dabovic. Milica all the way back out to Huang, and a travel there against Lu Wen.
Krunic has got to do better. I mean, she's really been offensively for me a disappointment for Serbia at this tournament. I mean, she's missed shots like that right around the basket
pretty consistently.
Yeah.
And she's getting good opportunity. That was an ideal opportunity to score. The pressure wasn't there. It was more her own fault that she missed.
She's young. She's only 23 years of age.
And referee Amy Bonner comes in to bail out Milica Dabovic here. I think it's Lu Wen with the foul. Tom Ma predictably upset with this. I think it's more a slip. It's not a foul. Dabovic has tried to hook with her elbow. Third foul for Lu Wen. A chance now to cut it to 8 one more time for Milica Dabovic. She has 7 for the game so far.
Krunic came in shooting 28%.
She's 5 of 18, Jeff. Krunic on the tournament.
28%. I mean, she was in the EuroLeague women with Chopin of Hungary. She played big minutes and shot 45.3%.
Wow,
but maybe that's also a comment on the competition.
Well,
anyway,
completely underperforming. Timeout here as 54-46, China lead. Marina Malkovic here sits in front of her team. They've trailed from the very start of this game. They've never been in the lead. 3-point shooting there. Serbia hit 5 and 3 for China. She's just trying to motivate this team to produce an ending here. Down the other end, Tom Ma and interpreter. Let's see what he's got to say.
Okay, now maybe they're in a zone. So it's 50-51.
Timeout finished, players back on the floor. And it will be Chinese ball. Cheng Feng there into the young Yang, 19 years of age. 7 players born in the 90 on this Chinese team. Oh, that's an offensive foul. Yang just a little out of control. That's the inexperience of Yang now. She looks like she might have hurt herself in the ribs. It was Milica Dabovic that she took the hit, didn't she? Well, Yang's all right. Dabovic is okay. And Radicaj down the other end. Feeds Krunic. Milica Dabovic over the screen, comes to the top. Jovanovic comes on this baseline. They got the switch out of this. Milica Dabovic one-on-one with Song Gao. Penetration route. Krunic to finish perhaps, and he's missed another one. Adjakovic to rebound. Now it's a 6-point game.
I give Krunic credit for putting the shot up with the left hand, but you know.
Assist. You took it a pass. Every missed shot should be a pass to your teammate. Gao Song hands off there to Cheng, fires up a long 3, and there was nothing but twine for Cheng Feng. The lead is back out to 9 once again. This Chinese team is just keeping that daylight between themselves and Serbia. Milica Dabovic lost control on that little layup. It was wide open in the end. Here she goes again into the layup. This should be 2. It does. Davidovich has 10.
I'd be surprised if Huang didn't come out there because she stood and just watched.
The prophet, Jeff. Look at that. You should be down there coaching.
Okay, I'll see you later. Look at that.
Gao Song goes up and scores. And Djokovic gives up a 2, an easy 2 the other end. Milica Davidovich puts the pressure on the defense, goes underneath the basket, hop, skip, and a jump, and the referee said that is illegal. That's a different sport. And turnover against Serbia. There's the drive from Gao Song. And Djokovic just giving up too much on that right hand.
And basically, Tom Mar has yanked Huang out because she didn't, in that layup from Davidovich, she just stood there under the basket and watched her walk right past.
Did you hear his comment? He said, I can do what you can, but I can do that. I can do what you're doing.
Do you think that's going to be lost kind of in translation? She's going to be like, what do you mean you can't? No.
That's the most confused translator I've seen on the bench yet.
I suppose the translator in some ways just has to not translate some things. Maybe he translates things to his discretion.
Yang's up in the air. Yi fires up a jump shot. That's missed. Jovanovic the rebound. There might be runners ahead here. There was, but it was a poor pass from Jovanovic to Davidovich. Serbia were bailed out as the interception there.
Well, Ji Yanyan trying to bring some energy. Ji was in the team last year as well. I don't think she played in the first half.
You were at the FIBA Asia Championships last year in Malaysia, weren't you, Jeff?
I was indeed.
Milica Davidovich is fouled by Yang.
Yeah, Ji did play 2 minutes in the first half.
2 shots here for Milica Davidovich. She's the leading scorer for Serbia. 3rd foul for Yang, and she'll be yanked out.
I suppose one of the big stories for China before this tournament was that Zhao Xuan didn't make the team. She didn't have a good season. And I spoke to a person in the China setup who shall go nameless, and they said she wasn't mentally ready nor physically, and whether or not she's going to come back, it remains to be seen. She's not ruled out, but to not be selected, she was one of the top 3 players for China going to the London Olympics, or certainly she was hyped as a real huge promising talent. So Tom Mar kind of sending out a message that having the hype is one thing and producing is something else.
And I remember with the GB team, it was very much that as well. Good pressure here from Serbia, just up in the tempo slightly. Cheng Feng just drilled a 3-pointer, Cheng, and a turnover against China, and Ma goes down the bench. Lu Wen will come in, and Cheng Feng will take a seat. He's got the interpreter involved.
Well, pretty much Tom Mar right now, if you make an obvious mistake, you come out of the game.
Yeah, oh, wow. A fundamental mistake, you name it. He's still having a chirp at her down the bench there. Milica Davidovich, pick and roll. Milica Davidovich unleashes a 3. This one's off. This could come back to Serbia. Into China, picked it up.
Good.
Yi, it's a poor pass from Yi.
It was good defense from Davidovich. But China made that harder than they needed to.
Jovanovic into the lane, draws a little bit of contact. There's no foul called, probably rightly so. Yi out in the pack. Chen. And Milica Davidovich just intercepted there.
Yeah, Butalia once again having an impact.
She's a good defender, Jeff. You marked her out, Butalia, as a defender, and she's doing exactly that. Surprised she started the game, but didn't start in the second half. Probably Coach Malkovich knew I was having problems with the pronunciation.
It's okay.
It's a fumble there from Lu Wen. Now Lu Wen is very lucky not to get an offensive foul, but Jovanovic caught it.
What a terrific play by Jovanovic, trying to get the charge. Watch how she holds on to the ball. She's a fantastic player, Jovanovic.
She's very good. I love these Serbian players. They just Just not quite the races of this game yet. There's plenty of time left. Third period, just under 2 to play.
Well, Budalia now.
Budalia over to Dabovic. Corner, Rad. Budalia penetrates. She might get it. Oh, it'll teardrop. It won't go in. Unfortunate there for Budalia. Oh, Milica Dabovic, it's through the legs.
Good hustle.
We got bodies everywhere. And a foul against China's Gao Song, I think.
Well, that is great hustle from Dabovic. That's leading by example.
Yeah. Chen's got the foul.
Look at this.
Well, I'm not sure Chen did much more than anybody else in there, but she's got...
She deserves these free throws just on effort.
Yeah, absolutely. Probably the pick of the Serbian players today. I thought yesterday she was outstanding too, Jeff.
Yeah, she was. She and Jovanovic, for me, were the top players against Turkey.
She had 18, 4 3-pointers from 9, 4 of 9 from downtown. They hit 11, I think, in total. I think she had 4, Jovanovic 4, and Milovanovic 3. Substitution for China. Yang back in. Chen out. Another mistake from Chen. Is replaced.
I think Ji Yan Yan, I think if they get the ball to Ji, she might be able to post up Budalia, but she tends to hang around out on the perimeter. Ji.
Here's Yang to Sun Mengran. Well, this could be an easy layup for Gao Song. It is indeed. Poor defense there from Rad. I think she gave up the middle too readily. Rad's foul. Amy Bonner's saying it's a slap to the face. Amy Bonner, speaking today in the fitness center, Jeff, she does a lot of WNBA back in America, from Missouri. Started off in the D-League as well, referee.
The one passing the ball right there.
No.
The other one.
Yep.
Over on the right.
Behind you in the screen there, yep.
Gao with 8 points.
China's get a rebound. I think she stepped out of bounds. That's unfortunate for Yi. But I like the energy of you. You've seen more of than I have, Jeff. And
you talking about Ji Yan Yan?
Yep. Not a consistent performer offensively, but as you said, offers a lot of energy. Well, Dabovic will get a lane to the hoop. There is contact. Gets her own rebound. Budalia. And all the way back out to Jovanovic. Adjakovic steps in. Jovanovic turns the corner. Let's hit the bottom of the backboard. Stepping in is Rad. She's short. Nothing Serbia can do. Can really make any inroads to a 9-point lead here.
Rad's been disappointing as well. I mean, she was a terrific player last year at the Eurobasket Women. And, you know, her shooting has to be there for Serbia. I mean, it's a big bonus.
Makes you wonder how they can be so inconsistent one year to the next. And Lu Wen unleashes the bomb, and it's a 12-point lead for China. Budalia. Oh, she may get a lane to the hoop. Good help from the weak side there from Ji. Budalia scores with ease. She's not 7 for the game now.
Oh, she looked off the pass. I'm not sure that was the right decision.
No, it definitely wasn't. Budalia goes up. Teardrop. Budalia 9 now, and we're getting to 8-point game.
Well, Budalia goes back to back.
As we were at halftime, I think it's a tied scoreline.
It was a 7. I think it was a 7-point game at halftime.
So Serbia have chipped in. China have just added one more to the scoreline. 64-56 at the end of 3 periods.
Five of 14 from 3-point. I mean, both teams with the 3-pointers, same amount. China with a lot more shots inside, Mick. 32 points in the paint to 24 for Serbia.
Well, that might be in the layups from the first half, perhaps, but they are finding a lot of success in that Serbian defense.
They have not trailed in this game, China.
No, they, I can't remember if it's an 8-0 lead or a 10-0 lead they got off to.
Well, their biggest run was 10-0.
That may be it then, begin of the game.
Yeah, it was they started 10-0. Then it was 12-2, and then Serbia started to wake up. But right now that slow start for Serbia is really what's cost them. Going back to the expectation levels before the tournament with China, just to show you how important it was, you know, they were in tears when they came back to beat Belarus.
Fourth period set to start here, Jeff. Yeah, it's an emotional time for these players, that's for sure. When you finally win the big games, lose the big games. I'm sure there's a lot of emotion last night for both teams, especially Serbia losing so closely. Well, Sun Mengran can shoot it, and that was the first shot of the fourth quarter. Serbia get a stop there. That was wide open for Sun Mengran. Looks like she's pulled up short too, Jeff. I'm not sure if it was a knee or a calf, but she's limping away. She don't want to show Tom Ma too much. Coach Ma will sub her out pretty quickly. He knows he's got an injury out there.
Well, Huang has re-entered the game. Huang Hongpin. We haven't seen Huang Jing yet. She's a good shooter.
Anna Dabovic to start the fourth quarter here. At one point in the third, looked like she might be just heating up. Good jump shot from Anna. It will drop in. Soft touch from Anna Dabovic. It's back to a 6-point game. Serbia will make a run here, Jeff. I'm convinced of it. I don't think this will stay an 8-10 point game.
Well, right now it's a 6-point game.
Talia, that foul there on opposite number 10, Lu Wen.
Talia now has her first foul of the game. So
just one short of double figures points productions. Well, there's Ma. There's confirmation. Boutalia's first foul. Mengran pops to that high post. Big tall center for China as that 3-point option as well. Long three from Chen. It's hit the back of the rim. Floated up and dropped in. Wow, the circus is in town. No trick shots, please. That was as high as it gets. Look at that thing.
When you see shots like that fall against you, you think it's not going to be our night.
Absolutely. That's right. Talia over the pick and roll. Looking for some roll from Adjakovic. There is a mismatch in that he can't get to the ball. They do now.
But she had to get out of the lane to not to have the 3 seconds.
Adjakovic fades, little hard. That might drop in. No. There's your fortunes, one into another. You're right, Jeff. You know it's not your day when fortune doesn't smile with the brave. Wide open is Lu Wen for three.
Back-to-back 3-pointers.
That is very impressive. China have suddenly opened up a 12-point lead. And as hard as Serbia might try, they just cannot break the great pass down low from Davic. Can't break into it. Krunic keeps it alive. Great rebounding from Krunic. And the drought continues.
Yeah, Krunic is...
Sarah Krunic.
Well, she's going to get to the free throw line. I think she's got a soft shot. For some reason, she's just not brought it to this World Championship. Kato's going to come in. I think this is a good move, as well as Milovanovic. I'm sure bringing Boutalia out of the game is what I would do, but
Djokovic sits down as well. Well, Sarah Krunic is 7 of 10 in this tournament from the free throw line. You might be right about the soft touch, Jeff. If that one clanks off the front of the rim.
Yeah, that wasn't too soft either. Averaging 6 points for the tournament, but remember, she's 23 years of age. She's had the luxury of playing in the EuroLeague. You would expect her to get better. Players can have disappointing summers, can't they?
Absolutely. And Dabovic ahead to Milovanovic. Well run by Lu Wen to just strip it out of the hands of Milovanovic. Jeff, you're ahead of the pack. You're going in for a layup. Surely you've got to go up strong. Just shows the ball to Lu Wen. Just almost saying, strip the ball off me. Got to protect it more than that. Especially when you're game, when you've got to find points from somewhere. Milica Dabovic backs off of Sun Mengran, goes deep into the lane. She might have a hard time getting the shot off. She'll get a rebound. Tries to tip it to his sisters. China all over it. And China break now. They got numbers here, 3-on-2 and a foul against Sasakato. From behind him. Surprised the referees see whether it was one hand or two hands. Interested to know whether it was a pull back or just
he didn't hesitate.
It wasn't a foul check.
I didn't see much there.
Lu Wen to inbound. Showing to the ball there is Huang, who's just an elbow thrown in the face of Sarah Krunic. Should be scratching that one later on. Chen over to Sun Mengran for three. My word, they just drilled it in this fourth period.
Well, that area has been good to China here in the fourth quarter.
Impressive shooting from the Chinese. Sun Mengran hits her second of the game. And Serbia in a right hole right now. They trail by 15. Adavic forces one. Nobody else touched the ball. And China look like they might be homing in on another victory. They will put them into that 5th and 6th playoff tomorrow. Bouncing around the Chinese now, full of confidence. Sun Mengran hands off to Chen. Chen to Huang. Huang's the jump shot. And that was way off to the left.
Huang's a good shooter. She's had a nice tournament overall. She didn't show up yesterday against Spain, but really none of the Chinese showed up against Spain to play.
She's shooting just under 50% for the tournament. Misha Davic has turned it over. If China can recover this, Xiaoting to Sun Mengran, another two, and that will initiate a timeout from Coach Marino Malkovic. As the Serbian coach has seen enough. China lead by 17, 75-58.
Let's listen into what they have to say, Mick. Well, you can see the drought for Serbia, struggling to get points.
Coach Malkovic is just giving him the silent treatment here. I don't think the words can express anything she feels.
Okay? You wait till you got good shots. You don't have to force anything. What you do want to be ready for is that they need more pressure. So if they're close here, you need to get to the basket. Other than that, you've got to get some movement.
It's very difficult, Jeff, to coach and know that every time you have a sentence, it's got to be translated, and then you've got to start again. And, you know, coaches, the natural thing is just to get into free-flowing sentences, impart the information one bit after another.
The other thing is your translator has to be a basketball person.
Yes, exactly right, and be able to translate the nuances of the game very quickly. Yeah, it's a good point. Fourth quarter here, 6:30 to go, 75. China 58, Serbia, and Serbia will face a zone on this offense coming down, so China gonna see what, well, they showed zone and gone straight back to man-to-man. That's a good coaching there from Ma. Dabovic just, it's a long shot from Milovanovic. I was about to say it wasn't a precisely good shot, but the result was outstanding.
That was one of those, no, yes!
For a coach, exactly right. Coach's nightmares sometimes. We have Lu Wen here. Lu Wen,
her shooting percentages there for the tournament. 24% from three-point range, Milovanovic.
Lu Wen, well, this game is just heating up from the perimeter right now. Lu Wen adds another two to China's numbers. The lead at 16. That three for Milovanovic just cut the gap by one now, as they've traded buckets. Here's Kado. Kado goes in, wrap around, nice pass there to Radicai. Radicai, little teardrop short. And it's China that are finding everything going their way right now. Xiaoting, she has 22 for the game so far.
Beautiful move.
Yeah, it was deflected by Serbia. Will stay with China. Well, Xiaoting's had a couple of good games in this tournament. I think she had a 23-point performance against Belarus.
Tom Morrow was telling her to just slow it up a little bit, not to be too much of a rush.
Well, she's full of energy, that's for sure. Sun Mengran, that could be intercepted. Sun Mengran's on the floor. It's Lu Wen here. Lu Wen up in the air to Chen. Chen sizes it up from three land. And a very wonderful rebound from Milovanovic. Now, Serbia should have numbers here. Milovanovic back to Radicaj. All the way over to Dabovic. Very slow when Davic gets the ball. It's just two very deliberate. Adjakovic, Radicaj in. Radicaj goes deep. Great no-look pass to Kado. Three for Kado on the buzzer. And the lead is back to 13.
Kado from the corner.
Corner it.
You were wanting to say that, weren't you?
Coin that one. No, not me. I couldn't be that quick. Lu Wen here underneath to Gao Song. And, you know, anything Serbia try right now. Amy Bonner wants to stop this. For some reason, anything Serbia trying to try is going in. Serbia just cannot get the stops. Not sure what the stoppage is for here. Referee Bonner will come over.
I think the scoring is not right. Should be 79-64, and on the scoreboard up there it says 79-63.
You're right, Jeff. They put two up. Amy Bonner came in and confirmed it was a three.
But it's right on the official scoring here in front of us, but for some reason it hasn't registered on the scoreboard. There you go.
Well done, Jeff. I didn't spot that in the game, actually.
But I would have thought that that was linked with the official scoring system, so maybe it's not.
Yeah. 15 the lead for China. And Serbia enter the last 4.5 minutes of this game. They've got to make a move somewhere. And Dabovic may feint a lane right in there. Missed, came up short again. Sung Mengran, the rebound. What an outlet to Yang. The runner is Gao Song. 2 points, China. What a break.
What a play by Yang. You saw her kind of pause and then just deliver a perfect bounce pass.
Well, Gao Song just got out to the on the track race, didn't she? Was speedy on that wing, and you're right. Yang just hesitated, let her catch up. Radicaj long two. Radicaj drills the long two. And the lead is back to 15. They're trading Serbia, and they need to get stops.
Yeah, they can't trade baskets.
Very high scoring game. We've got 147 points on the board already. Little double team out of that zone at the halfway line. Just to tell whether they're going to keep going that double team into Lu Wen. Yang fires up a three. That one's off and it will go out of bounds. Great chase there from the number 12 for China. Gao Song has had a good game today. Double figures for Gao Song. 4 players in double figures for China. Good performance all around. 81 points on the board. That's a high number for them. Milovanovic. Oh, another three for Milovanovic. That was way, way off to the left. Ana Davic comes flying in, and a foul against Dabovic. That will be the third team foul for Serbia here. And the fourth foul for Ana Dabovic.
I think she's out, actually. That's her 5th. No, you're right. It's 4. Saw the graphic there. 4 fouls. Now they've put it up.
Double team to meet Yang over the halfway line. She's easy out of that press, really. You can see it coming from a mile off. It's at half court. Sung Mengran over to Lu Wen. Lu Wen drives baseline. Brings it back out to Yang. Another three from Yang. Another same result. And the rebound for Lu Wen. China will start it off again. Yang holds the ball high. Sung Mengran. Lu Wen with 3. That was way off to the right and short. Now a break here for Serbia. Radicaj goes one side of the floor. Milovanovic low post. Powers up, and I think Yang will get that foul, Jeff. The diminutive Yang, the youngster. He's indeed. Who's the youngest player in this tournament? If Yang's at 19,
Park
15
Ji-soo.
for, well, by a country mile.
Yeah, I think so.
Country mile, yeah.
So Milovanovic with opportunity to get it closer. It's not over yet, but it's not looking good for Serbia, especially when you miss free throws and the clock stops. She's got 9 points for the day.
Well, she's a very good shooter. A 3 early in the half and 8 of 9 from the free throw line coming in. It's her first trip tonight to the line.
I think Serbia's biggest problem today was that they didn't come ready, or they didn't have that sense of urgency from the get-go, and they've been playing catch-up ever since.
Yeah, and you're right, Jeff, and it's one of those things. You'll go back to the start of the game and you'll say exactly that. They weren't ready to play, but maybe just one of those things. China come out and everything drops for China.
Well, I go back to the point, China were so disappointing yesterday. They had to come out breathing fire today when they showed up, whereas Serbia, coming off an emotional loss, it was much harder to get up for the game.
So Serbia back into this 2-3 zone to finish this 2.5, 20 minutes left. High post there for China. Great pass down to Sun Mengran. She can't finish. Milovanovic got the rebound. It was ripped out of her hands by Xiao Ting, who began the game with a flurry, and she might end it with a similar fashion. There's the rebound for Milovanovic. Xiao Ting just stepped in front of her.
Yeah, I think that was a bit of a tough call on Milovanovic. Looked like she had the ball in her hands. Some days the calls probably aren't going to go your way.
Xiao Ting goes on to 23 points.
Yep, she hasn't really been the explosive or the big scorer in the second half.
No. I think she had 18 at the break. Second one goes in, so 24. So she'll be, remember, these World Championships with 2 games of 24 and 23. So 24, I think, is in the top 5 of performances.
Yeah, she might get a couple more. Maybe she'll surpass the Techuan total. Sorry, the Teixeira.
Got to be confused there.
Ajakovic has to watch that elbow. She looked like she caught Sun Mengran.
Milovanovic, great hustle there, down from Kato, number 6 for Serbia. I think Serbia will be looking at the scoreline and say this one may be out of our hands right now. Timeout for Tamara, China. 83 China, 67 Serbia, 16-point lead for the Chinese. Looking very good for the money.
Scoring in the paint for both teams.
You're in 13, you guys. Not you.
Second effort points. Pretty close on the offensive rebound standpoint. Serbia have actually got more.
Yeah, it's one of those games. I think if you look at the percentages, China have just gone to work in terms of 2-point shots. The rub of the green. Wasn't quite a face elbow, was it?
Was that intent, though, do you think?
No.
Just the nature of the game.
Yeah, I think so. And I think maybe Krunic made a bit too much of it, but I remember the play. She did go away rubbing her face. Some great slow motion graphics, some great replays here this game. Milica Dabovic has been a fair old competitor today for Serbia. Top scorer is Milica Dabovic with 12. That's half the problem right there. Nobody's really pushed on and been a force offensively for the Serbians. There's Chen, double team at the top from that 2-3 zone. Well, Kato comes out too. Chen, skip pass to Lu Wen. Lu Wen all the way over to Xiao Ting. Chen has lost the ball to Ana Dabovic, picks it up eventually. The Chinese defenders get back. The 3 of them do. Dabovic in. Oh, she's thrown it away. Disappointing performance today for Serbia, especially how close they came to making the semi-final last night.
It happens often.
It does indeed. And China will see out this last minute and 20 seconds, knowing full well they'll be playing for 5th and 6th tomorrow. Great pass down low to Sun Mengran. Not sure that was a great pass to Gao Song, but she finishes. Great control off the foot. Dabovic straight away down the other end. Serbia, I think, have about conceded this game.
Sun has 17 points now.
And Djokovic goes up and finishes. Nice stylish finish with the left hand there. 85-69. In that double team, I can't understand why Serbia are back in a zone and to finish this game off. It doesn't make sense any. They're not really the double teaming everywhere. Xiaoting goes in. She's looking for a couple more points, maybe. Lu Wen. Sun Mengran fires up a long three.
Missed everything.
Shot clock violation. The horn goes off, and Serbia will get one more shot, possibly China, but I doubt China will be interested in taking another shot in this game. 16-point lead they have. 27.7 seconds in the game. China will match up man-to-man as they've done throughout this game. Dabovic looking for two more. Prachi Milovanovic penetrates. Little jump shot from Milovanovic. Misses. And out of the pack come the Chinese. Will they hold? Out of respect for the scoreline, they will indeed. China will march to the 5th and 6th game tomorrow, Jeff.
Well, you can see that they're getting the bad taste out of their mouth from yesterday in that defeat to Spain.
Well, a wonderful performance here from Tom Ma in response to yesterday's game. That first 20 minutes he described as embarrassing. He will be mightily pleased with the response today. China 85, Serbia 69. Serbia will go into the 7th and 8th playoff game tomorrow. China will play France or Canada tomorrow for the 5th or 6th in the World Championship. And the Federation will be over the moon with a 5th or 6th place finish. Stats just 58% for China.
Yeah, inside the arc.
Completely outplayed the Serbians, who only managed 17 shots inside.
I think that flurry of three-pointers for China in the fourth quarter basically finished off Serbia.
Yes,
they were right there trying to make a run.
Completely agree.
And, you know, it's a young team. Every win is important. You know that they received a tongue lashing yesterday. I know they did. I heard the word disaster, embarrassment in the press conference. So for them to come back out and produce, I mean, look at this. They want to finish as high as they can. And they're all picking up Michelle Timms, the Australian legend who helps Tom Mark coach this team, the point guard. And overall, you know, Xiao, obviously 24 points, 18 in the first half. Sun was outstanding.
Well, I hope you've enjoyed the game here. 85-69 is the way it finished, and we've got 3 more games coming up for you. Canada, France up next, followed by Turkey, Spain, and then the last game of the day, USA taking on Australia. The 2 semi-finals coming last of all tonight. We'll see you next time for France versus Canada. Bye now.
Oh.